Okay, we're talking about surface area of a prism. Where we have to recognize the prisms. Okay, a prisms means there are two bases. Okay, in a cube. Does not matter which base that you're looking at, okay? As long as they are parallel to each other, and if you identify this as the base, okay, meanings one of these right here will be a prism height. Okay, a prism height will be connected to the two bases together. Okay, we can look at a cube, we can look at the rectangular prisms, we're looking at triangular prisms. Okay, when you are naming the base, the prism or figure, it's based on the base. Okay, cylinder would consider to be a prism as well, okay, because they have two bases and then they will have connected with a prism height. Okay, so this is what we call prism height. Okay, and I have never memorized the formulas because I am not a good memorization person, so I always look at the formula itself. Okay, when you're talking about prisms, triangular prisms, rectangular prism, or whatever that may be. Okay, let me make it smaller. Okay, I always was able to make sure, let's see, make sure it's grid line. I want a smaller one. I always started out with, okay, if it's a prisms, I'm going to look at surface area. Remember, surface area is looking at the lateral plus the two base, okay? Always going to be two base when we're talking about prisms. And then you are looking at the perimeter of the base, okay? And then you times it with the prism height. Okay, the base right here, the big B, is considered to be area of the base. Okay, same thing with the cylinder. For cylinder, I'm looking at surface area is the lateral plus the two base. Okay, even though we cannot, I don't want to memorize the formula, but I need to know the basic formula. Okay, the laterals will be the circumference of the base times the prism height. Okay, again, the base is right here. This one right here is going to be the area of the base. In this case, it is a circle. Okay, let's take some example. Okay, for this figure right here, I'm looking at the base. Let me change the color, not green. Let's do the blue. Okay, the base will be a triangle. Prisms will always have two bases. Okay, this case, I can make 6 right here. It's going to be my prism height. Okay, this is my base. Okay, there are two of them. We call this a triangular prism. Okay, we're going to have Let me change the color. Surface area, meaning the area of the whole figure. Okay, once you are identify the base, everything else will be a lateral. Okay, all of these run right here in purple. Let's see, all these things right here will be a lateral. We're gonna have a perimeter of the base, of one base. I'm going to multiply with the prism height. I'm gonna add 2, and then the area of the base. In this case, the area of a triangles. Triangles will have base times height divided by 2. Let me simplify it further. I'm going to cancel that 2 out. So I'm going to have base, in this case, is 3. Remember, perimeter is the outside of it. So we're gonna look at 3 plus 4 plus 5. Multiply a prism height. In this case, it is 6. If you notice, I never put unit in until the very end. I'm looking at the base of the area of the base again. In this case, the height and the base. Remember, they always form a right angle. I'm going to have 3 times 4. Let me simplify. That's going to give me 9, 12. 12 times 6 plus 12, 72 plus 12. That's going to give me 484. The units in this case is yard square. So surface area of this one right here will be, well, there you go, 84 square yard. This is rectangular prisms. There are in rectangular prism there can be 3 different bases. If I well, not 3 different types of bases. I can look at this as the base. Meaning this opposite side of it needs to be a base. If that is the case, the 4 right here will be a prism height. If you're making the other side, if you, let's say you are going to make the top one to be the base. Remember, bases will be parallel to each other and they are connected by a prism height. If you make that as the base, then 6 will be a prism height. But if you want to make this one right here, the one to the front, the one to the back, if you want to make that as the base, and then the 3 will be a prism height. Okay, let's go ahead and make these 2 a base. I'm gonna have, again, I always write this down, lateral plus the 2 base. In this case, the perimeter, this is going to be 6, that's going to be 6, and that's going to be 3. It's going to give me 6 times 2 plus 3 times 2 times 4. Okay, in this case, the base is a rectangle. I'm going to have the 3 times the 6. Okay, that's going to give me 12 plus 6 times 4 plus 2 times 18. I'm going to have 18 times 4 plus 6, 36. 32 carry a 3, that's 72 plus 36, that should give me 108. My unit is meter square. Okay, let's say I have a cylinder, okay? In this cylinder, I know this is my base, okay? And that is my prism height that's connecting to it. Prism height. And that is my base. In this case, it is in a circle, so you have a formula of pi r squared, okay? It's giving that the radius, I'm gonna write it down here. Remember, your radius is connected from the center, which is 5 centimeter. And then my prism height, in this case, is 20 centimeter. The questions ask me, what is my surface area? Okay, my surface area of a prism, of a cylinder is very similar to the other prism, triangular prism, rectangular prism. Later on, you're going to look at pentagonals prisms or hexagonals. So I have that. In circles, we're going to look at a circumference circumference of the base. So I'm going to have 2 pi r times h. The base in this case is pi r squared. So now I just need to substitute it in. Radius in this case is 5. My height is 20. Okay, plus 2 pi 5 squared. So I'm going to have 10 times 20, give me 200 pi plus 25 square. 5 squared is 25 times 2 is 50 pi. And then you're going to have 250 pi. And if I asked you in terms of pi, you can leave that alone, but I did not ask for that. Let's round it to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to have about 785. In this case, is a centimeter square. Okay. Let's try work in your homework.